Since going to F8 Well Centers, my life has changed dramatically. I'm still on a very strict diet, kind of a modified keto. I take about 6 supplements a day. I'm back working. Before I was ill and no energy and fatigued, and it was miserable. And I even told my son the other day, I said, I feel like I'm pretty close to being back to about 100%. It's a baby step every day to just feeling better and keep moving. It'll be a year, I think, in September. So I can't wait to reach that 1 year milestone and look back. I'm Mike Kingsbury. I'm from Wagner, Oklahoma, and I own a construction business. Before working with F8 Well Center, I was miserable. I was sick, ached all over. I couldn't get healthy. I'd been to multiple doctors, was referred to an oncologist, and nobody had any answers for what was going on with my health. I really had like flu-like symptoms. I ached all over. My joints hurt. I had no energy. I was chronically sick with like sinus and upper respiratory issues. What made me say yes was there really wasn't anything locally like them. And ironically, I found them on TikTok. I started watching Dr. Ben videos, and everything he was saying directly applied to what was going on with my health. And, I just did my research, and I looked into his background and read his information on his education and whatnot. And I just knew that was the place that I was going to wind up going. I think the biggest hesitation was probably paying up front, but as bad as I was feeling, I would have sold a kidney to pay for it. There's so many inflammatory things that we put into our bodies, food and drink, whatever. So I just totally cleaned my diet up and started just eating as healthy as possible. It was really the only thing I could do that benefited me in the least amount. And then once I got started with Dr. Ben, they just rolled into that same program with diet and supplements and whatnot to kind of find the problem with the inflammation. What surprised me the most about F8 Well Centers was just how I felt a close connection pretty much immediately. They're a team of physicians and nurses and dietitians that had my health first and foremost in mind. And that was very comforting to just start out and know that they were going to help me get to feeling better. I recommend F8 Well Centers just because they're getting to the core root issue of what's going on. Their target is the inflammation, whether it's diabetes or some underlying illness. They're just trying to strip you down to bare bones and then build you back up without the inflammation issues. And that's what Dr. Ben specializes in. So if you've got any kind of chronic illness, aches, pains, or you're just not feeling good, it probably goes back to inflammation. And Dr. Ben and his team were fantastic to get to that and help me dig out of that hole.